It's a brand new day. This is your morning yoga practice. We're going to just start with a simple waking up ritual. Bring your hands together in a prayer pose. Rub them together. Start to stimulate your palms, generate some heat. You can rub them together more quickly, faster. And then just simply place your warmed up hands over your eyes. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in the healing energy of your hands. Feel your touch. Feel your aliveness. And if you wish, you can move your hands anywhere else that you'd like to receive that healing energy. Maybe your neck or your jaw. Breathe it in and let it go. We're going to get started standing at the top of our mat, and we're going to begin with some sun salutations. If possible, face the east for your morning practice. Stand at the front of your mat in a mountain pose. Balance the elements of steadiness and strength in the body as well as ease. Begin the Ujjayi breath, inhaling through your nose. And as you exhale, create a little bit of restriction at the back of your throat so that you hear what sounds like an ocean sound or like Darth Vader. Inhaling for a count of 4 and exhale for a count of 4. Maintaining that Ujjayi sound the best you can. From mountain pose, on your inhale, reach your arms up over your head. As you exhale, turn the palms away from you, lift your tailbone and start to pour yourself forward, hinging at the hip crease. On the in-breath, come up halfway as you lengthen your spine over the front edge of your mat, especially the scruff of your neck. And then exhale, pour yourself forward again, plant your hands on the mat, and step back to plank pose. You can modify by lowering your knees to the mat if needed. On your exhale, lower all the way down, bending the elbows, keeping the elbows close to the side ribs. And then as you inhale, plant the tops of your feet on the floor and peel your face and your chest away from the floor. And this is our cobra pose. On the exhale, roll the toes under, come back to hands and knees, and then shift your hips back to downward facing dog. Go on. From downward facing dog, breathe in. That's my dog journey. And then as you exhale, just gently tone the belly, relax your neck and your head. Inhale and exhale. Nice 1-to-1 ratio with your breath, using that Ujjayi breath, that oceanic sound. On an inhale, look forward between your hands. And then as you exhale, walk your feet right back up to where you started in that original mountain pose. Inhale, coming up halfway. Exhale, fold forward. And then inhale, come all the way back up to standing. If you want, you can anchor your tailbone down toward your heels and lean back, stretching your sternum skyward. And then exhale, hands to heart. That's one sun salutation. So we're going to do a couple more. You can do anywhere between 5 and 10 each morning, but we'll just do 3 together. And then feel free to keep going if you wish. Pitta people, don't overdo it. On the inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. On the exhale, pour yourself back down. As you inhale, let the spine lift halfway up. Exhale, pour down again. Plant the hands on the mat. Step back to plank and lower down to chaturanga, or to knees, chest, and chin. Inhale, cobra. If you want, you can go for up dog by lengthening the spine up out of the shoulder girdle. So we don't want to compress the spine down between the shoulders, but rather like your hair is being pulled up to the sky. Then exhale, back to downward dog. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can bend your knees and really just stretch your tail back toward the wall behind you, kind of up toward where the wall would meet the ceiling or whatever's behind you there. Inhale, spreading the rib cage open like an umbrella. Exhale, letting that umbrella close around the ribs, around the spine. Inhale to look forward. And then exhale, walk your feet up to the top. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, pressing the hands together and finding your heart center again. One more together. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold and step the feet back to plank. Press through the heels and through the crown, anchoring through the navel center, lower down to chaturanga. Inhale, peel your face and chest off the mat. You might straighten your arms, coming to up dog. Exhale, back to downward dog. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, looking forward. And then exhale, bring your feet right up to where you started. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rising all the way back up. Heart facing the east, the direction of the sunrise. And exhale, hands to heart. Good. So if you'd like to do a few more sun salutations, feel free. Otherwise, we're going to come back to the downward facing dog pose. And now for these next poses, we're going to hold each of them for 5 breaths. So downward dog, we're just rooting down and grounding through the hands and the feet. Your knees can be bent. The primary focus here is that we're anchored down through all 4 limbs and that the spine is long, stretching from the anchored hands all the way back through the tailbone. Inhale and exhale. Continue to use that Ujjayi breath in through the nose. Exhale. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. One more breath here for a total of 5. Exhale all the breath out. Good. From here, we're going to step the right foot forward, and we're going to come into a revolved lunge. So we're going to drop. So we're going to come into a lunge. Stepping the right foot forward, you can drop your left knee down, or if you wish, you can keep your back knee up off the ground. Take your arms up over your head. If that is too tricky as far as balance goes, you can certainly rest your hands on your front knee. Inhaling here, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Your back heel can be off the ground so that your hips can be squared toward the front of your mat. But if needed, you could step that back foot out a little wider and drop down into the heels. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. One more breath here. And then exhale. We're going to lower both hands down, framing the front foot. And then take your back knee to the ground this time. And we're going to revolve to the right. So you can either simply spiral your right hand up off the ground, or if you want to challenge yourself a little more, you can bring your hands up to prayer pose. And then as you exhale, start to twist at the navel center, resting your left elbow on your right knee. And then you've got a prayer pose. And you want to shift so that your spine lengthens, and then as it twists, it begins to line up, the heart begins to line up with the prayer pose. Okay, inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. You can gaze at that side wall or whatever's to the side of you, excuse me, or you could look up over your right shoulder or right elbow. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Steady the gaze, and that will also help bring steadiness internally into the mind, into the emotional body. One more breath here. Good. On the inhale, release. So you can take your arms up overhead if you want. And then exhale, lower the hands back down and step back to downward dog. And then we'll just switch sides. So the left foot will come forward. And we're just going to start with this high lunge. So the back heel is off the floor. Or if that's too challenging, you can step your back foot out to the side a little more and drop your heel. Just be mindful of how your hips and how your joints feel. Okay, we'll inhale. This is a grounding pose, and it's also just intended to bring some energy up through the heavier, more stagnant parts of the body, the legs, the hips. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, steady gaze. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale and exhale. Use that nice Ujjayi breath. It's a heating breath. It's also called the victorious breath. Feeling victorious as we start our day in such a healthy way. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Last one. And exhale, 2, 3, 4. Good. So you can lower your hands down, framing the front foot. We're going to drop the back heel or back knee down. And then again, flip your back toes, press the tops of your back foot into the floor. We'll inhale, bring the arms up, and then start to twist to your left, planting your right elbow on the top of your left knee or thigh. If needed, you could also just place your right hand on the ground and lift your left arm up. The drishti or the focal point can be the side wall, or you could look up beyond your left elbow or up toward your left hand. So we're lengthening from the back knee, through the tailbone, through the crown. And as we exhale, actively kind of twist your belly so it's peeking up over that left thigh. Turning your spine so that your heart lines up with your prayer pose. And then inhale, resting your gaze. 2, 3, 4. Staying here. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. And exhale. 2 more breaths. Last one. Good. On your inhale, you can release. And then just exhale, step back to downward facing dog. And we'll step our feet forward about halfway, come all the way up to standing. And then we're going to move into a tree pose. So just shift your weight into your right foot. If balancing is an issue, just step a little closer to a wall or a chair. There's absolutely no shame in using props. They're actually there, whether it's a block or a wall or a walking stick. These things are here to help reveal the experience for us, to us, in us. So don't be shy about using what you got. So we'll shift our weight from our mountain pose into our right foot. And as you do, you'll notice kind of your body weight compensating. So then lift up your left foot, and you can simply just rest your heel against the inside of your right ankle and just externally rotate your left leg. Otherwise, you could place the sole of your foot somewhere on the inside of your leg. Many teachers will suggests that we avoid pressing into the side of the knee because that joint isn't meant to bend sideways, but instead into flexion and extension. So there's that piece of advice. But also, if we're pressing the standing leg toward the foot of the bent leg, we're firming up our core. We're creating more energy in the trunk of our tree, and that's going to decrease the likelihood of damage to our joints, whether it's our knee or hip or anything else. You can certainly use your hand to move your foot where you want it to be. So you're going to actively press the sole of the foot into the leg, but also the inside of that standing leg into the foot. And you can start to feel and sense energy building up from your roots through your trunk. Maybe draw that up into the core. You might bring your hands to prayer pose if you wish. You might also consider bringing your arms up overhead and just reaching toward the sun, just like a sunflower, how it reaches in the direction of the sun. So we're going to reach up, continue to press in toward the midline, and breathe here. And let's do about 4 more breaths all the way in. A nice ujjayi breath. Keep going. It's okay if the trees sway. If we actually look closely at the trees, we see that even though they're strong and rooted, they're also flexible so that they don't break. Inhale. And exhale. And consider in our lives, where have we been too rigid? Complete, you can bring your hands to heart center, lower them down, and go ahead and come back to standing. You might shake out your standing leg, just notice what's there. Move with intention. And we'll go to the other side, so we'll shift from our central mountain pose over to the left leg now. And now you know what to do, so create a little kickstand if you want, or move your foot wherever you want to on your leg. Be mindful of your knee joint. Press into the center line. And then just begin your breaths. As you continue to deepen your roots, you might find that it's easier or more inviting to sprout your limbs up higher and higher and higher. Breathing in and breathing out. Smooth and balanced. Keep breathing all the way in and all the way out. Just keeping the eyes steady to help keep the mind steady. And then we can release that and just let it go. And go ahead and step that out or shake it out. And then we're going to come into a forward fold. So simply just start hinging your hips forward. Lift your tailbone up when we're coming into a forward fold. You can totally bend your knees here, especially if your hamstrings are tight. And then you can either bring your hands behind your legs and kind of wrap them and let your head or your neck dangle. Or if it would feel better, cross your arms and just dangle the spine. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale from the soles of the feet all the way up through the legs toward the hips. And as you exhale, just let it out. Let it just cascade through your spine, the shoulders, the neck, and the head. Inhale from the legs up. Exhale over your spine, through the neck and the head. Last breath. And from here, release your arms. Plant the hands on the mat. And we're going to step the feet back, coming into plank pose for a 5-breath hold. So press back through the heels. Press forward through the crown. Your gaze is just between the hands. And you want to lift up through the inner thighs. You can certainly bend your knees if you need to. We're going to inhale and lengthen from the heels to the crown. And as we exhale, actively pull the balls of the feet, so the toes are rolled under. Pull the balls of the feet toward the heels of the hands. Feel the core engaging. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Do your best. Work to your capacity. Inhale and exhale. 2 more breaths. Inhale and exhale. Last one. And exhale. Lower the knees down. Good. And then just come back and you can sit on your heels and rest there for a moment if that feels okay. Our next shape is the camel pose. So this is a back bend. Back bends are really great for energizing and kind of calling in that sunshine energy for your day. So to come into camel pose, you're just going to basically be kneeling. Bring your hands to the small of your back or your sacrum. And we want to think about lengthening up through the sternum. So we're rooting down through the shins. And as we root down, we can get higher and lengthen through our spine. And we want to get that extension up through the sternum first before we start to lean back. And the drishti, or the focal point, is straight ahead at the horizon. For folks that are real bendy, if you get to a point where your sternum is parallel to the ground, then you can gently bring your head back, but only if your sternum is parallel. Otherwise, the rest of us will just maintain this forward drishti at the horizon. So 5 breaths here. Inhale and exhale, supporting the sacrum, keeping the gaze steady. Inhale, exhale. Lifting through the sternum. And exhale, use that ujjayi breath. If you have stopped breathing, you've gone a little bit too far, so come out of it just enough so you can find your breath. In for 4 and out for 4. In for 4 and out for 4. On the inhale, slowly lift yourself up. And then finally, press back into child's pose. Take the knees wide, bring the heels or the big toe mounds together, and then just simply sink your hips back toward your heels. If you've got a bolster or a blanket, you're certainly welcome to put it underneath your hips for support or underneath your chest. Don't be afraid to really make this luscious. And then just resting here, either your forehead down, or if that bothers your neck, you can rest on one side. And just simply close your eyes. Relax any parts of the body that are still gripping or holding on. This is a beautiful time of year to be letting go and releasing. And as simple and silly as it sounds, the only thing that's holding us back from releasing is the holding on, the gripping. So even if we can just let go, even a thread in the hips, the low back, the jaw, find this place where the earth is holding you. And just let yourself be held. Just for a few breaths more. Filling up the belly, the diaphragm, and the upper chest. All 3 parts. Feel the diaphragm moving. This is a beautiful diaphragmatic breath that will stimulate resting and digesting and healing. All the elements of resetting for the season. Diaphragmatic breath. Nice and full and deep. complete. Go ahead and bring yourself back up. Turn around and lie down on your back. You can rest your knees together, taking your feet a little farther apart. Feel free to cover up with a blanket. You might dim your lights again if you had them turned on. Shimmy the shoulders down, and we're just resting here in Shavasana. And it may not have been that long ago that you were resting on your back, in your bed. But the body associates sleeping with laying in our bed. So when we lay on our mat, let's intend to rest, but do it in a wakeful way. Intend to keep some inner light on. Have an awareness of the body as it's relaxing. Face, the neck, shoulders, the arms, the torso. Sense the hips and the legs, ankles, feet. Have an awareness of the breath. And then even loosen the efforts around breathing. Remembering that we breathe something like 20,000 times every day. And the percentage of the time that we're actually thinking about breathing and actually doing it consciously is pretty slim if we're honest with ourselves. So the truth is that the body knows what to do. So just turn over the control of breathing. Just let the body be breathed. Be the one that sits within you and observes. Be that light of awareness. Gently shine that light of awareness back to the navel center, to the breath. Gently see the breath or feel the breath rising and falling. Feel a sense of vibrancy, aliveness. Let the breath deepen. And then go ahead and stretch and start to come back. You can roll over onto your side. And just please take your time coming back up to a seat. And you can follow up your morning yoga practice with your meditation for the day. Namaste.